Hi everyone, happy holidays. This is our Simple Abundance here with Sarah Von Bronick's book Simple Abundance, and we are in the month of December 2020 if you're watching this in real time. I hope that you are trying to make December as festive as you can. I have been watching holiday movies. I made a list of some of the ones that I feel like I always need to watch. And then I've watched a few that have been recommended or get really good reviews. So that's adding to a little bit of fun. You guys know I have my tree up, and I also have some presents under it thanks to one of my friends that sent me a big box of presents, like what they're all numbered too, like to open on certain days. So I feel like I'm getting into the spirit more than I originally thought I would at the beginning of the season. How is your December going so far? I am going to be talking to you today about two of Sarah's entries. One is called Daydreams and the other is called Nightscapes. So this would be about dreaming, right? Are you a daydreamer? I don't know if I am. I'm very creative, so maybe I am a daydreamer in my own way, but it's more like a speculation. Like I even see people out at restaurants and I sort of like wonder about them and sort of like make up stories in my mind about them. But I don't know, it's like a daydream, according to Sarah, is something where you're just going along in your day and then all of a sudden you're just kind of like off in another experience in your mind. Do you find that you're doing that? I think I'm just like a go, go, go person, so I'm not always doing that. If I'm doing that when I'm still awake, a lot of times it's like right before I go to bed, I think about a lot of things and I can sometimes like travel to a memory or something and just kind of savor that. Let's see what Sarah says about daydreams, though. We must enter a daydream willingly. Suspend conscious thought of reality with our eyes open before we can experience the joy and reverie. Poets, artists, writers, musicians, and scientists know that the muse visits in reverie. Yeah, I could see that. And she says to us that she needs at least 15 minutes of active daydreaming every day. I could see that as a writer, especially in her case. Visualizations are daydreams' virtual reality, a deliberate, positive scene setting of what you'd like to see happen in your future. Well, yeah, that would be sort of like a manifestation sort of dream, right? When we visualize, we make the interior scene as realistic and detailed as possible, coloring the scene with the senses until we are viewing it so realistically it triggers an emotional response. Happiness, ecstasy, joy, relief, and thanksgiving. Yeah, I could see that. And that is the real amazing thing about the mind, is that you can experience something in your mind when you think about it. They've done studies, and like think about just even like personal physical arousal. I mean, you can think of something in your mind and you have a physical response to that. Not only, so I'm just using that as an example, but it's the same thing for your emotions. You can actually trigger your emotions when you set the stage for something. So when you're thinking about the things that you want out of your life, can you go there to a thought of it and really experience what it would be like? We did talk about that a little bit in a journal exercise, about trying to connect to the feeling. So not only, like, say you're wanting money or something, not only just picturing yourself with that money, but picturing kind of the why. You know, what is it allowing you to do? How do you feel? Do you feel free? Do you feel like a lack of stress? Do you feel grateful? You feel like it's fun? You feel like you deserve it? Or all these different feelings, as opposed to maybe going there and then having worry or not even allowing yourself to think about something like that because you're too consumed with the reality of what is. And I know I shared with you guys at the beginning of the year to my journal about my fun little stories that I make up in my head. I didn't do any of that this year. I was just so off. I shared with you this year's been rough. But I do have a blank book for 2021, so it would be fun to start doing that again, because I take delight in, I'm a writer at heart too, so I take delight in sort of creating things like that. But I can do it in my head. I'm a very, very creative thinker. That's a problem for me sometimes too, because my thoughts run away with me. And I tend to analyze things a lot and try to figure out what somebody's thinking or something, and it's usually not right. And then, of course, the dreaming. Oh my goodness, am I a dreamer? I am such a dreamer at night. Do you guys remember your dreams? So she talks to us about dreams now. She says, I'm going to skip to the middle of this because she says, our dreams are divine stories that reveal where we've been and why, where we're headed, and the easiest way to get there. Dreams are our authentic Rosetta Stones. Each night, new hieroglyphics are inscribed, but instead of Egyptian, our divine inscriptions are familiar faces, settings, objects, pursuits, and dilemmas. We just need to make time to translate them. Dreams are also problem solvers. When we are perplexed about a course of action or need creative direction, we can seek divine assistance through our dreams. Scientists, inventors, writers, and composers creatively brainstorm with their authentic selves in nightscapes. The most informative dreams usually occur when we've gotten a good night's sleep and didn't go to bed exhausted or intoxicated. If you can't pick up a pen the moment you get out of bed because you have children, lie quietly before getting up and run the dream consciously through your mind several times so that you can remember the gist of it. If you do find time to write it down sometime during the morning, you'll be surprised that your pen will reveal details you didn't even remember. After a few hours of consciousness, however, even vivid nightscapes tend to fade back into the deep. Yes, I think that's true. I've actually never tried to just get up and write my dreams down. Does anyone out there have a dream book? I dream every night, I know, and I usually remember my dreams too. And I've mentioned the movie Inside Out before, the Pixar movie, and I love their little explanation of what dreams are and how the actors sort of replay some of the things that have gone through the day and sort of change it up a little bit, because sometimes your dreams could be reliving certain things. I think I've mentioned to you that my cat that passed away 5 years ago, he comes to my dreams sometimes. I love those dreams. He's so soft and he's so young and fluffy, and he died very frail, so I love to see him all happy and healthy. And I have lots of dreams related to my relationship, and yeah, I kind of think if you're dreaming about somebody in particular, then they might be dreaming about you too. You know, it's almost like you're connected on that dream level. I don't know. I have weird scenarios too, just weird things. Like, I don't know how my brain comes up with these things, but I do typically remember things. And then just within the last year, something interesting's been happening to me, and it tends to only happen if I wake up in the middle of the night, like if I have to go to the bathroom or something, because otherwise I don't wake up in the morning this way. But if I wake up in the middle of the night, it might be 3 in the morning or something like that, I will hear song lyrics, and it's not necessarily a song that I even know. So sometimes in the morning, and I'll be, I'm half asleep, and I'll be like, all right, you have to remember this one, because I won't know necessarily what the song is. And so sometimes I'll Google it in the morning, and it's interesting. It's almost like the divine has been sending me some messages. I've always found that songs have been that way for me anyway. Even if I'm in the car, sometimes I feel like I can get a message from music. But this has been interesting, and it's only been since maybe August that this started, and I've been so tired lately that I just really haven't been waking up in the middle of the night. But it's kind of fun when that happens. In fact, I had a dream where there were 2 different songs that I thought were maybe the same song, And it turned out it was like a mashup. Both of the lyrics seemed to be very poignant and purpose meaning to me at the time. So I'm listening. Maybe that means I'm becoming more receptive in some ways. I have not really thought about my dreams in a problem solving way. Like, have you ever looked to your dreams to find answers? I just kind of look to my dreams for humor, because most often it's just a really bizarre scenario. And I like to tell people sometimes if they're really bizarre. But I do find, like, my cat will come, and I even saw a lady that I knew who passed away within the last year. She was in my dream the other night recently, and I was not even thinking about her, so it's kind of neat when those things happen. So what do you think about daydreams and night dreams? Nightscapes, she calls them. The daydreams, from what she describes it as, it seems more like our own creation. Like, we're consciously doing that, whereas at night we are sort of letting go and allowing the divine to create. But we can be a co-creator, from what I gather from what she said. You know, as far as like asking for answers, or maybe analyzing a situation. I do sometimes try to think, like, why did that happen in my dream? Or what does that person showing up in my dream mean? What do they symbolize to me? Or it might be like, why the heck was I thinking about that? Or it could be, yeah, I'm not surprised I dreamt that, because that was a big part of my day yesterday, or something like that. Our brains are really interesting. So let me know what you think. Let me know how your December is going. I'm planning a video to talk about 2021 and some fun things that I have in mind for life and the channel. I hope that you are finding some things that you can be excited about coming up. I already got my new journal for 2021. I like this time of year because I like preparing like a blank slate sort of in my journal and everything. So hope you are feeling good about the way that the year is wrapping up and moving into a new year and new experiences. And thank you for being here with me on them, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.